these rappers living in complete isolation out in the desert wouldn't work unless they were on the internet. And I loved that idea. And what would happen if the internet disappeared and everyone disappeared? What would that look like? You know, would they continue to make music? You know, what would change? Hi, I'm Marnie Ellen Hertzler, and this is when I made Crestone.
Big scope on the AI, keep it on me for you plotters and robbers who want on my guala. Whipping in phones like Crushy and Paula. At 17, I cleared it for my mama. Skirting these feds, I was dodging these oppers. Bitches bit me hard, keep me a chopper, bitch!
Oh, fuck.
When I made Crestone, I was living in Baltimore, but I traveled to Colorado to shoot the film. The main characters of the film are my best friend from high school, Sad Boy Traps, and his friends, mainly Shampoo Sloppy, AM the A1, Hi, my name is Ryan. We went to high school in Raleigh, North Carolina. I met Sad Boy in an art class. The guy getting the tattoo is Sad Boy Traps. He's my best friend. We were also born on the same day.
My name is Traps. I go by Sad Boy Traps, and I started rapping like in 2010, I think, maybe like 2011.
Told her I don't stop a million times.
The city I'm from is like widely like old school hip hop based. I mean, like Ninth Wonder's from here. King Mez, there's just a bunch of like really like solid hip hop stuff that comes from here. And I got into that like circuit, and within like 2 or 3 years, I was doing shows like every other week.
That's Shampoo Sloppy or Sloppy.
I'm Shampoo Sloppy.
Yo.
I was like getting abused at home by my stepdad, and I listened to like, you know, Eminem and Nas and stuff like that. And then it just became like an outlet for me to talk about like the abuse I was going through. And then it kind of turned into more of a passion because of that.
He lived like down at the beach at the coast in North Carolina. And the first night I met him, I was doing a show.
And I saw him outside of the venue, and I was like, oh shit, Sad Boy. We clicked off right away. He was eating pizza, and I was like, oh, can you show me where you got that? I'm hungry. So as we're walking to get pizza, there were some like gangbangers behind us. They were Bloods, and they like grabbed Sad Boy's hat and like was just like being assholes, like trying to take his hat away. And like back then I was pretty stupid. Like, and I was just like, I took my shirt off. I was like, yo, give my man his hat back. Da, da, da. And it like turned into this big thing. And then they ended up dapping me up and then like giving Sad Boy's hat, and we went and got pizza. And then we just like really clicked off after that. It was like, you know, I'm gonna ride for this man.
That's Ryan. That's Hi, my name is Ryan.
My name is Ryan. I go by Hi, my name is Ryan.
I'm just picking up momentum, keep it moving. Shawty think I'm handsome, she tryna be my bootin'. Ask for more.
I went to high school with Stokely, Ski Master Slump God. There used to be a time I stayed in Miami with X and Ski Mask. He introduced me to everybody else down in Sunrise, that people went to Piper High School. Everybody just liked my energy. Like, hey man, you know what? You're real creative. You got something good going. I want you to be part of this movement.
So that's really where Ryan came into the picture. You know, everybody knew X, and on top of that, as soon as I had introduced him to Marnie, she loved Ryan, and it was like a given that he was gonna be in this movie. He actually left X's funeral, got on a plane, and came to shoot this movie within a day.
They told me shit about my life, but I don't wanna let them in. I done been through so much shit, I don't know where to begin.
He had it all planned out, like, you know, yurts are only like 10,000 a piece, you know, we can get everybody a yurt, start this village and source our own food and water and like live completely off the grid.
It takes a village to raise kids. It takes a village to care for each other. Like being able to trust your neighbors and know that the people around you are there for you just as much as themselves. And I just truly feel that in my gut, that if we could have small sustainable societies and stuff, like it would just be better for people's mentalities and lives in general and for the planet. And then that's when social media really just started like going for me. I just was getting a lot of love and support from the people around me. And with that, I just started doing more for Instagram, like weird, wacky weed videos.
Circus Animal House cookies.
I saw a video with Sloppy and Sad Boy that they put on YouTube. It was like them doing a hot sauce challenge.
And Marnie was like, who the fuck is this guy that's just like surrounded by weed plants, burning 50 pounds on a barbecue grill? Like, who is this dude?
And I showed it to my friend, who's also a filmmaker, Theo Anthony, and we decided we should probably make a movie with these guys. I had never been to Crestone, but I brought one other person with me, Corey Hughes, who ended up being a co-writer, and he is a cinematographer. We had a bunch of disposable cameras with us, and we were just snapping photos the whole time. Crestone's like super new age. There's like 76 different independent religions in this like little place in the valley between a mountain range. There's only one gas station, there's 2 grocery stores, and that's about it. When we first pulled up to Sloppy's house for the first time from driving from the airport in Denver, Cody was outside Sloppy's house showing Sloppy his bike. Where he was like, okay, we need to shoot this exactly what's happening, but he's gonna be like this passerby and like this hope for like more people alive, like other communities that they could potentially merge with.
The fuck? What's up, man? What is this thing?
This is a motorized bicycle that I built myself. I took a regular bicycle, like any standard bike. I took this motor and the bars, and I welded the motor onto the bars, and then I bolted the bars onto the axle of the bike.
I don't think any of us really had lines like that. I think everything was like, Marnie was like, this is what I generally want to happen. Say whatever you want along the way.
Where are you going?
I'm on my way to California.
You know, straightforward documentary is great, but I think when a camera is in the room, everything changes. Like you can say something is real, but no, if there is a camera around, it's really not. Like you can never really capture reality. And I wanted to lean into that. You know, I wanted to show the structure and the bones of a film set and show how we are bending truth and bending their reality. I would have a new shot list every morning that I would send them, and we would go over it together, and they would say what they hated, they would say what they loved, and we would just go from there.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, sir. That's okay. I'm going to save this for later if you don't mind.
Hey. I'm so glad you're here.
That's the God, man. That's Ben's Rome. That's my motherfucking brother.
There's so many things that I want to show you. Come inside.
When he was in Crestone, this was a house he was working on. It was this really incredible dome house. It had like 3 little dome quadrants, and this was a shot of the bedroom, and the bedroom had like a yin yang floor. It had like jars in the walls that acted as windows, or like stained glass that he was super into. The narrative idea we played with here is that they were collecting things from abandoned houses and dumping them in this house for when this house is finished, they could just set it up easily and crash there. So it was kind of the idea they're just like moving from structure to structure, squatting because no one was there, so they could do whatever they wanted. I wanted to bring Animal Collective in just because they've been friends of mine for a while and we've been wanting to work together, but I also think they're really good at sonically exploring landscape, exploring and describing landscape.
In the early 2000s, when I did environmental science and policy, I lived at the Biosphere Center, which is outside of Tucson. So I spent about a year and a half living in the desert and really fell in love with it. And I've had vague sounds in my head since then, and no Animal Collective project has ever really been able to bring them out.
I think we really wanted to kind of highlight that the sort of craziness of like these SoundCloud rappers that you wouldn't necessarily associate with that environment, and then these like epic drone shots of the desert and the mountains.
During that time we were shooting, there was a huge fire.
Oh, fuck. Get back in the car, bitch!
But I don't know if a lot of people remember that the fires got pretty bad in Colorado in 2018. And basically it like burnt up a whole side of a mountain. That mountain, or at least where it stretched off to, was on the other side of the mountains that we were on.
This movie is about the end of the world.
I was really worried about being evacuated. I was wondering if we should leave at that moment because there's only one way in and out of Crestone, and if that were blocked by a wildfire, we would be stuck there for a very long time.
Marnie and Corey did not like that. They did not like that. All of us though, she says it in the film, we really like did not give a shit. Like we really just were like, oh, okay. Like we're staying.
It was supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic film about, what if the world ended and there was just SoundCloud rappers left. But with that fire breaking out, it cut our stuff down from like 2 to 3 weeks of filming to 8 days of filming. So then it went from the post-apocalyptic film to like a mockumentary about how we were living life. Like Marnie told me during the viewing, people get emotionally attached to us. You build up this love for these characters, and then at the end it says like, dedicated to Ben's Rome.
Our friend Ben's passed away, I think maybe a month or two before the screening, before he never even got to see the film.
Ben's was and I'll take this line from Jay and Silent Bob, bro, that was my heterosexual life partner, bro. We were gonna be best friends until we fucking died old as hell. Like, it's hard. You gotta go through 1,000, maybe 10,000 people to find Ben's. Someone who is just genuine and loving and caring, and he's there for everybody, and he just wants everybody to have a good time. And I think it should just show people that shit isn't guaranteed. Shit isn't immortalized. So appreciate your homies when they're here. Normalize telling your friends that you love them,
if there's nothing else on this planet except for the people you're around, we're back in caveman times. You gotta love who you're around, because you're gonna see them every single day.
It ended up being a meditative piece about friendship, and that's really truly how they live their life. It's like family is the most important thing to them, whatever that family looks like, and they can recreate that family over and over and change it as much as they want, but as long as they have this unit to rely on and to collaborate with and to fall back on.
We could make the best of the end of the world while other motherfuckers crumbled and lost their minds and killed each other for cans of green beans and shit like that. We'd be like popping it open and sharing it.
That idea goes really far with this movie of the memories and, you know, holding on to those times with those people that you love in life. We all became best friends with Vince, but this movie is just like a way for him to live forever, you know?